Oh, you're here. Why aren't you at the casino? The casino is so much more entertaining than me. Who's in the room tonight for Purple Power? Let's tune in and let's see who's here. Russell, Vince, Ali, a lot of people, and Linda. Boy, it's exciting to see you all in the room tonight. You're going to hear a lot of beeps and a lot of bumping. I'll tell you why. Because minutes ago in Los Angeles County, alerts started going off because of rising COVID-19 cases. So you may hear sounding alarms. It's not the casino. The cows are not storming the gates. And Denise is in here. Connie, Ace, Angel. Hello, Angel Robertson. Beautiful evening to have you all in the room. And boy, it's exciting there. Who else we got? Champion, Hugh, Melissa, Dune, Lily, Boris, Candy, Adrian, Woody, Cindy, Tammy. Wow, we got a lot of people. Oh my God, 2,000 people in the room. I haven't been a minute in here. Carrie, Chris, Alberto, Sandy, Melanie. How's everyone doing tonight? It's great you're all in here. Gina, Amy, Angie, and Melody. Well, wow, what a night it is here. Now, I'm glad you joined me for Purple Power Live. It's so important to stay positive. In the broadcast that I went live earlier today on Street and Stimulus, we talked about unemployment benefits. Tonight, I'll be talking about hazard pay in this video because we did that last night. So we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. So let's see where you're all from. I see some Texas for Oklahoma and Linda's from Arkansas. Where are you else from? Tell me what cities you're coming in from tonight. Where y'all heading? It's bitterly cold here in Los Angeles tonight today. New York. New York's gonna have another New York. Bakersfield, Santo Domingo, Minnesota, Missouri, Ashland, Manchester, Ohio, Atlanta, Los Angeles, Alabama, Indiana, South Carolina, Memphis, Orlando, South Carolina as well for Paul. Wow. So we got everyone. Lake Elsinore, Texas, Missouri, another one from Missouri, Reading, Pennsylvania, another one from Texas. So we got the Midwest, we got the East Coast, we got a little bit on the West Coast as well. Arkansas, Barstow. Anyone international or overseas tuning in? Let me hear if you are. I appreciate if you are. Long Island, Wichita, West Virginia, Arizona, Dorothy from Wilmington, Kentucky, Northern California, Long Beach, LA, Virginia Island, New Mexico for Lanisha, and then Wisconsin for Sean, Milwaukee, Georgia, Florida, Charleston, wow, Los Angeles, another one, Maryland. So you're experiencing the cold weather as I am tonight. If you're in Los Angeles, if you're just joining in, there are alerts going off tonight. So you may hear alarms during this recording because they're sounding alarms about rising COVID cases in Los Angeles. So they're reminding people to wear masks. Kentucky's in the house, Fresno and Rockport. Rockport's a beautiful town. So, it's a great evening. What I want to start with, because this is Purple Power, is I want you to stay positive. I'm not going to stay focused on negativity, nor should you. And what's important as messaging is that, over the last couple of months, we've dealt with a certain person, her way or the highway. And it took a long time for us to sort of, get away from that mindset. You remember why I originally called her the Temple of Doom? Because it was, I reject this. I reject this. And people kept on saying, oh my God, LA, she rejected it. Oh my God, nothing's going to happen. She rejected it. Well, guess what? Tonight we're going to refocus as well as the Purple Power because we're not going to sit back and have someone say, it's not happening because. In the last 48 hours, I've seen a couple people that want to say it's not happening because of this person. And the person's actually a different person in some of the equations. It's this person, it's that person. But I've had a couple pieces of people say it's not happening because of this person or this woman or this guy or this girl. And that's not the spirit of the Purple Power. The reason for Purple Power is because people are getting things done. Reason why we're here is that we're getting things done by pushing people who don't want to get things done. So if you see someone on Twitter saying it's not happening unless her and her group, or it's not happening unless he and his group, I want you to sort of just ignore that. If you're new to social media, which I know a lot of you are, there's a button called the block button. There's a button called the mute button. And also on the channel, there's a button called the block button. And so if someone is shelling you negativity, it's not happening unless. I want you to sort of ignore that. The next one is you certainly want to be informed and not forget, but you don't want to dwell on the past. And that's what you got with a lot of these politicians. They say one thing and then a few months later they say something else. And I don't want you to dwell on the past. I want you to dwell on where we're going forward. We could sit here all day and talk about how many times Mitch McConnell said something bad. They've all said something bad. Is there a politician who says something and then it's just like, what did you just say? So I don't want you to say, well, Mitch said something really bad in May, so we're not going to get something in November. So we're not going to do that either. Next, it's important to understand that the push is needed more than now, and that the purple power needs to step up. Purple power embodies moving forward and getting your relief, your economic stimulus relief that you're owed because of this pandemic. You didn't cause this pandemic. You didn't put yourself on lockdown. And you're owed this stimulus, and people have been slow, lapse, and bad and not getting it to you. We're not going to mince those words, but we're not going to sit around and let them decide our fate by not giving us a robust enough stimulus check, by giving us too small a stimulus check, or say, you know what, I'm going to do the postman before you. We've done that. And so what we're going to do is push. It's important to understand that some people think that purple power is partisan for themselves and their elected official. It has nothing to do about elected official. So if you want to fight for your elected official, that's great. But if it has to do with not getting the rest of us stimulus, well, go over there. We're here to get your stimulus. And the purpose is to get your stimulus, to go moving forward. And that's what we did in a 4-hour broadcast on election night. We had people who were Republicans and people who were Democrats cheering on both sides, but ultimately we had a commonality that we wanted to get the stimulus in our hands. And that's the spirit of purple power: informed, motivated, pushy, and strong will, and pushing to get your stimulus. So it's important to understand that. Now let's go to hazard pay. So hazard pay is really important for my essential workers. It's important because you may have worked as an essential worker. You may now be working as an essential worker. And last night I turned the broadcast into a Q&A back and forth about essential workers. So let me do that again tonight. What we're going to start with is, let me see how many people are or have been an essential worker or have a family member that they care about who has been or was a essential worker during this pandemic. Yes, if that is the answer for you. Any essential workers? Me, Nemaria. Melissa says yes. Anyone say yes if you're essential? There's another one. This is Bess, Nikki, Ron, Stephanie, Belua, what beautiful name, Faroud, Betty, Celeste, Rachel, Donald, Renee, Helen, Tammy. So there's a lot of people already in the room. It's 3.5. Francesca, Faroud, Tina, Charlie. Wow, wonderful. Josh, been watching the whole time. Well, thank you, Josh. Don't miss 10 minutes after this recording. As soon as this recording's over, comes check. In check, the evening check, it's going to be a big broadcast. I go over the check amount. I go over hazard pay. I go over a lot of stuff, so don't miss that tape recording right after this. All right, so let's get back to hazard pay. So now that we know a lot of people in the room are essential workers, let's now go through the analysis. The important thing for hazard pay is understanding who qualifies and who maybe qualifies and who doesn't qualify. So now let's start with the jobs. So tell me, put a comment of what your job was as an essential worker, and I'll tell you if it was covered under the HEROES Act. Construction, if it's repairs. Dietary aids, yes. Grocery worker, yes. Aerospace, yes. Nurse, of course, yes. Grocery store, yes. Walmart janitor, generally no. Cashier, grocery store, yes. House cleaning, no. But if it's a maintenance of the building, yes. Retail, no. EMT, yes. Janitorial work, if yes, it's in maintaining a building. Truck driver, yes. Hardware store employee, oh, I don't think so. That's one of the marginal areas. Insurance agent, no. Vet tech, I believe so. Yes. McDonald's, yes. Fred, I don't know what Fred is. D- maybe Fred is. Uh, Railroading, yes. Welder, no. Caregiver, yes. Liquor store, yes. Restaurant lobby, yes. Delivery, yes. Home health care, yes. Family dollar, no. Steel warehouse, depends on what you're doing. Landscaping, convenience store, yes. Postal worker, yes, of course. Um, Walmart, CVS. I'll get to the Walmart, CVS people in a second. Warehouse depends if it's shipping. Strippers, no. A bagger, PetSmart employee, no. Uber and Lyft, yes. Hairstylist, no. Sorry, Nancy. Georgia teacher, yes. Construction heavy equipment operator, depending on where you're working. Uber and Lyft, yes. Pizza delivery, yes. Popeyes, yes. Livestock, yes. Recycling yard, I believe so. Um, so that was a pretty good run there. See, produce, yes. Respiratory therapist, yes. Government employee, yes. Grocery cashier, yes. Mechanic, depends on what you're working on. Planes, yes. Electrical maintenance, if you're doing building, repairing, maintaining buildings. Cable structure, CSR. I don't know what CSR is. I can't know everything. No, Pamela, that's not an essential worker. Security guard, yes. Caregiver, yes. Medical billing, Randy, yes. Federal agent, well, yes. Adult care, yes. So now you see how, I'll come back to a couple of you, hold those thoughts for a second. So now you see how generally these classifications work. Heroes Act says that we want to make it broad enough, but some things they just simply exclude. Like general retail is not a essential worker. But here is the Walmart CVS situation that we all have, which is you work at Walmart CVS and you do, or Costco, and you do general retail operations. Is that covered? Generally, no. But what happens if you work in the pharmacy in CVS? Then yes. What happens if you work, in the medical shipments in CVS? Then yes. And so I do think you're going to have a little bit of confusion on those businesses that do a couple things where one of the things is certainly covered. And so that's what's a little bit confusing. Let me get some more to your comments. Childcare, yes. Home Depot, some of you got jokes tonight. Bottle collector, no. Property manager, yes. Medical assistants, yes. 99-cent worker, depends. That's a hard one. I mean, if you're selling food, restaurants, yes. College, no. Hotel, generally hotel, no. There's some hotel, DoorDash, yes. There's some hotel things there. Dialysis therapist, yes. Car business, Uber and Lyft, yes. Public power supplier, it should be. I mean, that sounds obvious. Superhero, no, you're not essential superheroes. Street bum. Absolutely. Yes, you all have jokes tonight. Online grocery shopper for Walmart. You should be. I mean, that's sort of what the example is, where Walmart generally would not be essential, but the online shopper is. Musician, no. You should be, but musician, no. Home health care aid, yes. Congress is not essential. Thank you for the super chat, Julia, Jamie, and the other people so far. Uh, ge- Electrician, if you're maintaining a building, they do that under maintenance. Aerospace, yes, absolutely. Aerospace is included. Maritime is included. Medical insurance agents, insurance generally, no. House cleaning. Ooh, well, they do have maintenance in a building, but I don't know if they mean it in an actual home. Emergency room registration, absolutely, of course, yes. And rescue mission worker. Oh, I would think so. Someone's dropping the same joke. I mean, it's funny the first time when I read it, but after like three times, it's not funny anymore. Uh, so that's okay. That's a new joke now. And I'm not reading some of these jokes on camera because it's yeah. So you all have some good jokes tonight. Very impressed. So going back, going back, medical assistant, yes. Medical device manufacturing, yes. Home Depot. I mean, this is what's so strange is that no, you're not. Well, you're essential to me, Sylvester. That's I'm not reading on camera. Salon worker, no, you're not essential. Airbnb pilots, yes, you're essential. Airlines, yes, you're essential. Plumbing warehouse. How do I get it? Okay, so then when someone asks a really good question, how do I get it? And the Calcino, cow milker. Yes, Calcino is essential and cow milker is essential. I'm not joking. Well, the Calcino because it's a restaurant and a bar, and the cows, yes, they're essential actually. That's why Sir Lloyd is so purple power eater. Boy, you all got jokes in here tonight. So there you go. What's important to remain on focus is that these people are going to get very confused. They're doing a lot of stuff. There's a lot of distractions. And the reason why Purple Power push so early on was because these people tend to get things wrong, and you need to make sure they get things right. So, Purple Power, where should the pushes be right now? They got to be on the stimulus check and where the money's coming from and how it's to be used. You've been doing a great job. That CARES Act 1 money, that unused CARES Act 1 money that's at PPP, needs to be repurposed for a big stimulus check to be sent out. If you send that out, then you don't need $600 billion or 400, $500 billion of problem solvers bill for two stimulus checks. You can take that out, reduce that, and then have that money for my hazard pay viewers. This is categorically incredible that you make sure that Mitch and Joe and that everyone negotiating for stimulus uses that unused CARES Act 1 money for you for stimulus and not for, the cows, not for Spider-Man, not for land, not for not for the other jokes I'm reading in the comments that I can't say on air. You want to make sure that they use that money. Next, you want to make sure that the hazard pay push is very clear. And so it's hashtag Purple Power Hazard Pay, hashtag Purple Power Check, and hashtag Purple Power FPUC. What's important to understand is that when you look at FPUC, most broadcasters just focus on the dollar amount of FPUC. And that's a little bit misguided because the important thing is that your UI is extended, your PUA is extended, and that your FPUC is extended. Because if they're not extended, if you don't have weeks of benefits, there's nothing for FPUC to go on top of. Is it to February? No, I think you need to extend these unemployment benefits to like April. I mean, the vaccine will not be in mass distribution by February, so people will be on unemployment. The ravaging numbers of the virus expected to hit are in January. And so by that account, people will get sick in January. They'll need relief in February. And by March, they may still be on unemployment. The darkest hours are the time in which the vaccine is being shipped, but people still have not gotten it, and we're in the thick of winter. And so you need stimulus to continue to April. That's why it's incredibly important. It's in these coming days and weeks that you need to stay positive. I've seen a lot of questions where people say, what if he and what if her? And I heard her. This almost goes back to July, where people were literally DMing me, said, oh my God, I'm really nervous because Nancy said she rejected this. I said, who cares what Nancy rejected? And after a little while, I got the message out. And guess what? Guess what? Problem solvers came in and mirrored what we were doing. problem solvers came in and mirrored what we were doing and saying, no, you need to do bipartisan. Then she ignored problem solvers. Then the Blue Dogs came in and said you need to do something bipartisan. Then the New Democratic Coalition came in. Then she still ignored it. Guess what? When she put her last HEROES Act bill down, people in her party voted against it because we went on social media and said, no, it's not your way or the highway. And so that's what's important to understand is that you're owed money. And I don't want you to say anywhere or co-sign an idea that says, he said we're not, she said we're not, because that's not the focus of giving stimulus. One person does not determine your fate for stimulus in this country. It's as simple as that. You determine your fate. We as the family get this done, and we can push, push, push. With that, remain focused and remain on point. And so final thoughts for tonight. Let me go over some of the last couple questions. What's going to happen if, let's see, typos. Oh boy, here come all the questions. Love bacon. Do you think people are starting to, amen, ally. My name, my cat, Nancy Pelosi. Jamie, love you, ally. Well, I love you back. Carolina, hearts. Jean, hearts. Can I get PUA? Okay, here come the LA alerts. I don't know if you just lost me. That was another LA alert about the bad weather. Love you. Love Purple Power family. David, Ash, uh, Walmart employees considered essential workers. Just covered that. If you missed part of this recording or joined me late, you can also replay it. Coming up in 5 minutes after this is check. So tune in for that taped recording. Check in 5 minutes. Thank you for a great evening. See you tomorrow night. As always, go stay informed, stay focused, and stay of allies for more.